another 3-0 sweep on the morning wager yesterday. How about side and total in Monday Night Football? We also gave you the Oklahoma City Thunder against the Sacramento Kings. All you night owls got to stay up and cash right before you went to go to bed. As Mark Zinno stepped on my introduction there, as he often does, he did mention that it is back-to-back 3-0 sweeps because we were 3-0 on Friday as well. So we are feeling good, looking good, although I picked apart my looks before the show started. That's a different story for a different day.
Yeah.
We move on to Tuesday, where we are talking college basketball and the NBA, Mark Zinno, as it appears you have a coffee.
Yes, wait. I want to bring up something because this is sort of, you and I have talked about this, and it was emblematic of the game that we picked last night with Oklahoma State. When we sat there in the morning, and this is kind of just like a cautionary tale to people, especially who bet in the NBA, right? Because I think the markets, especially at this time of year, are so volatile because nobody's really sure what anybody is yet. But we had talked about Oklahoma City at -4.5. And then about 2 hours later, what did we see as we were on the phone together talking again? Oh, my God. One of the sports books just went to 5, right? Then, lo and behold, by the time 6:30 had rolled around and you and I had talked for the third time today, yes, folks, it is routine. Bryan Power and I talk several times a day because we are the world's cutest couple. But then it was down to 3.5. And it's like, okay, now we're on the wrong side. And we gave out a bad line and everything else. I think the one thing we need to remember with the NBA is that these markets are very unstable at this point in time. Look for more of teams and matchups than necessarily numbers. And when I say don't always pay attention to the number, if something's way out of whack, obviously don't get into it. But we felt like the number was a little bit short, which is why we played it. But when it got even shorter, it's like, okay, what's going on here? You know, everybody was starting. There was no news or anything like that. The steam isn't always going to be right in the NBA. So again, just proceed with caution sometimes. Yes, maybe it's better to wait until later. We do the morning wager. These picks come out in the morning. For us, it's hard to sometimes forecast what's going to happen in the NBA at night, especially with players, being ruled out and things of that nature. But when we talk about NBA games, I think it's one of the more volatile markets out there at this point in time, especially until after you get through Christmas. That it's important to remember that, you look for teams that are playable right now necessarily over numbers that are playable. Just my 2 cents. But what do I know?
That is Mark Zinno letting you know that NBA markets are unstable this time of year, much like my mental state. But again, that is a different show for a different day. We will have a best bet in the NBA coming up later. But first, college basketball. Okay. Mark, what a card here on Tuesday in college hoops. We've got, of course, the Maui Invitational going on. I was going to wear a Hawaiian shirt. You shot down that idea rather quickly. We also have Kansas and Duke. And we have a game that you are going to lead us off with, Houston and Alabama. These teams are playing in Las Vegas, Nevada, place near and dear to my heart. Many of those watching, I'm sure. How shall we play this one, sir?
Well, and oh, by the way, not only am I your co-host, I'm also your therapist because your mental state is never all that, solidified.
No, it's not.
Okay. So Houston, Alabama. I looked at the total here over 149.5. And part of the reason here is, at this point, I'm not really overthinking things. Some of these numbers that we see earlier in the season are skewed because teams are not playing great competition here. But Alabama is averaging 90 points a game, right? And Houston is averaging 84. When you talk about these teams offensively, Houston is number 6 in KenPom in offense, and Alabama is number 3. The one real comp you have between these two teams was when Houston played Auburn back on November 9th. That was a 74-69 final, which, again, at 143 keeps us under this number. But the difference here is that Auburn, as a team in that game, they are number 9 in defensive rating. Alabama is number 48. So there's a huge drop-off in defense. We know Alabama loves to play with pace. They get up and down. They run as much as they can. And I know Houston doesn't play with pace, but Alabama's threes force everybody to change their style of play and what they do here. I think we go up and over this number here. Alabama's going to score. Houston is going to score. My hope is that Houston is trailing most of the way, because if Houston is leading, they're going to sit on the ball in the half-court set. They're going to kill a lot of shot clock. That's gonna challenge the ability of this thing to go over. That said, again, I look at it and I go, I don't think there's a reason here why we're not going to see Alabama continue to push the pace and Houston be forced to play catch up and Houston trying to keep up. So we'll go over 149.5 between Alabama and Houston tonight.
All right. Smash that like button if you agree with Zinno there. We will now move to the Maui Invitational, the aforementioned Maui Invitational with one of the big games, Memphis and Michigan State. This is a 6 p.m. Eastern tip-off. Memphis is 5-0 straight up and against the spread. Guess what I'm going to do, Mark Zinno?
Oh, this is as predictable as the sun coming up tomorrow and us paying too much taxes. You are going to fade the 5-0 team. Because why? You're
Yes.
Bryan Power that.
I am. And now we're not just blindly being brave here. This is a bad spot for Memphis, Mark. Why? What did Memphis do yesterday? They beat UConn in overtime. Now, they were up big down the stretch. They were up 13 with less than 4 minutes remaining. The wheels kind of came off. UConn was UConn. Hurley was losing his mind. Game goes to overtime. You would have thought, if I had bet Memphis in that game, I would have been scared to death thinking that they were going to not even cover the spread in overtime. But lo and behold, they wind up with the outright win. We know Memphis is very talented, the starting five. Haggerty, Hunter, Rogers, and Danger. Is Mystical still around? I think he got into legal trouble, actually. Remember that song?
You never know.
College at the same time I was. That was right after Shake Your Ass.
Watch yourself.
But anyway, I digress. Yeah, watch yourself. Anyway.
Show me what you're working with.
Memphis does not have, show me what you're working with, Memphis. Well, it's not a lot of depth. Okay, and I think that's going to be a problem against the Michigan State team that has a lot of depth. Now, right after Memphis upset UConn, Michigan State handled their business against an undefeated Colorado team. The odds makers told you what they thought of Colorado in that game, and so did bettors. Michigan State got bet way up. They covered all numbers, but they did so, Mark, despite shooting just 2 of 21 from three-point range. I think Michigan State's going to shoot a little bit better from three-point range today than they did yesterday. This is a deeper team. They had a ton of bench points, Michigan State. I think they had 40 bench points against Colorado. Only one player finished in double figures. So Michigan State, who has been to Maui under Izzo, obviously, many times before. It's been a few years, but Izzo, call me crazy, I think is a better coach than Penny Hardaway. All right. I think Sparty handles its business and deals Memphis its first loss of the season this evening. I would just play, you can lay the 1.5, maybe just play Michigan State on the money line if you are so inclined. But Memphis is going down today. Michigan State advances in the Maui Invitational. Several of Memphis's wins this year, Mark, have been close. I think they only have one blowout win, and it was against my alma mater, ironically enough, yes. Ohio University. So they're due to drop one. They're due to drop one, Memphis, and Sparty is the team to hand it to on this $5 Tuesday, I may add.
I like it.
Yes.
That was probably better than what I had. Not going to lie. See how I compliment you? That was probably better than what I had. I kind of like your play better than mine. Is it too late to make that your best bet?
Feeling good all of a sudden. By the way, smash that like button if you agree with Michigan State. I just mentioned it is $5 Tuesday here at WagerTalk.com. What does that mean? Well, guess what? It means you can get $5 plays from all of your favorite WagerTalk handicappers, including Mark and myself. Mark, you have been unconscious with this $5 Tuesday promo. You have really taken it to heart. You have said, for $5 each week, I will bring the people a winner. And with the exception of the Army debacle, ironically, an Army man was not given the information about Army's football team.
Yeah.
With the exception of that one game. Yes, you have won every other $5 play this season, except one, which is remarkable. Yes. You are already locked and loaded with the $5 play. Tell the folks about it.
Thank you for the kind words, because I won't promote myself, so I appreciate you doing it. I will say, because the only thing that matters, it's not units, not ROI. Just win, baby.
Oh, here
okay?
we go.
Just win. 1 7 of 8. So that's good. Off a 4-1 college Saturday, right? Damn you, North Texas, for blowing that 21-0 lead. Prevented me from sweeping the board, but did give out the free play of Notre Dame. That also hit. So probably should have flipped him. But anyway, listen, we're locked in right now, guys. $5 play, again, on college football. Of course, with these $5 plays, we've cashed 2 5% plays. This is a 4% best bet on the college card on Saturday here, final week of the regular season. So go get it. $5. Love that you guys support this thing, man. We appreciate it. WT.buzz/MZ.
All right. I also have a $5 play locked and loaded on my page. Mark will roll his eyes momentarily as I bring up over the last year. It is a 67% winning run in college football, 58-29. I think that's pretty good. Last Saturday, we not only won our 5% play on Fresno State, who made me stay up very late to sweat that out because they didn't want to score in the second half, but we also won our $5 play mark on the Kansas Jayhawks. That was not a sweat. They routed Colorado, won that game outright. So 4% best bet at my page, just $5. The game goes on Saturday. A game that goes tonight. Oh, by the way, I should mention, if you want to lock in beyond the $5 play, this is an incredible. This is one of the best deals WagerTalk.com offers all year, Mark. You can get, you don't have to, I mean, I'll tell you my plays, but all of you, if you want to get all of our plays for $7, Mark or myself, this is not a combo offer like last week's 3-day offer. But right
combo
now,
is better.
Hold on. All right. They're not going to like that you said that. 7 days for $69. Any handicapper, a 7-day all access, they have been discounted to $69. That's me, Mark, anybody else. Check that out at the website as well. We'll be talking about that more as the week goes along. This is obviously a busy week of football. Thanksgiving, Black Friday, in addition to the normal weekend of Saturday college football and Sunday NFL. All right. Play for tonight. Our show best bet,
Here's
NBA.
a good way to do it. This actually,
yes.
I will concede that. I think our combination is better because I like us better than everybody else. But that said, this is a really good week to do that, given the way everything rolls out, right? With college football Tuesday, Wednesday, NFL Thursday, you got college football Friday, Saturday, NFL Sunday. So yeah, that makes sense. That's a smart. That was smart by them. I'll give them credit.
Glad. What a Mark Zinno getting on the good side of the Wager Talk office there.
No,
right.
not at all. No, I've never tried.
Oh, you're not. Oh. Yeah, no, you haven't you? That's then I always have to play cleanup. Anyway, looking to play cleanup is the Utah Jazz. They're not very good. Bad basketball team. I have them rated as the third worst team in the league. They're hosting the Spurs tonight. The Spurs are a short favorite, even though Wembanyama's back. And similar to last night's best bet with Oklahoma City, we're wondering, why is this spread so short, Mark Zinno? We will back the favorite.
Yeah, San Antonio this year, 1-5 on the road. You want to take a stab at what their one win was? That. You want to take a stab at who their one win was against? Yeah, it would be the Utah Jazz. Listen, the Jazz defense is bad. I mean, it's even close to awful. This is also a team that has the highest turnover percentage in the NBA this year. And the Spurs are back healthy with Wembanyama. Utah has the second worst defensive efficiency of anybody in the league. Their offense, guess what? Bottom 5 in offensive efficiency. I mean, San Antonio's improved. They're not going to be a great team, but this is a bad Utah team. We get a short number here. Both of these teams played 2 nights ago, both coming off wins, believe it or not, as the Jazz are coming off a win, but the Spurs just beat Golden State. So this is a spot here, and it's the final regular season meeting between these two teams, which is crazy. They're playing for the 4th time since the start of the year. Spurs have won 2 of the first 3. The one that they did lose in San Antonio, Spurs shot awful from the field, just 44%. Wasn't a good game. They had over 20 turnovers. It was just sloppy all around. I think they get it cleaned up. In fact, the Spurs won the last game against the Jazz without Wembanyama in the lineup. So, and they scored 126 in that game. That's how bad Utah's defense is. So we get a better version of the Spurs here. Final meeting. They know them well. Let's take advantage of a short number here, late with San Antonio minus the 2.5, and we'll call that our show best bet.
Utah, bad defense. Bad liquor laws as well in that state, but that doesn't really apply to this handicap. Yes, yeah. Well, hey, we've gotten our revenge. They're done. They're off the list. BYU's lost a couple times, so I don't care about them anymore. I don't have to curse them every week.
Little preview here. They may make the card this weekend.
Oh, that's very. They're not making my
And
card.
Nick,
I'll say that much.
I don't care about your card. I'm not talking to you. Okay.
You're
Let me
not?
just educate the peoples real quick on the spot
Says
here for
Mark Zinno
BYU.
on my screen. I
Pound of
think you are talking to me.
pound of flesh game. Pound of flesh game for the Cougars. I mean, for those Cougars who are playing the other Cougars, which is Houston, they're not losing 2 in a row at home in Provo. They still need a win to try and get to the Big 12 championship game. It's a good spot here. Houston's a bad team. They're really bad, especially on the road this year. So just take a look, folks, at BYU. Not for Mormons, for football.
Your parents have a coffee store in their house? How do you, it looks like
No,
you
well-
like bought a coffee. Oh, it looks like you
No,
bought a coffee.
my old man went and
You went-
picked up Starbucks for me this morning.
Oh, that was
So-
very nice. Tell him I said hello.
Hmm.
All right.
I mean,
on
listen,
that
it was out.
note,
Nice coffee. I mean, listen,
it was very nice.
'tis the season to be merry. Well, that's my
It
name.
is, and tis the season to pick up that 7-day $69 pass as well. Either of our pages, you can get that. $5 best bets on Tuesday from both Mark and I. You heard how exceptional Mark has been with those all year. You heard how exceptional the college football season has been on this end. Let's bring it home. We are all done here on a Tuesday. Wall-to-wall college basketball. Very excited to watch it. And I'm always a little more excited when this jam starts going. Like,
I think we
comment,
should give this away.
subscribe. What's that?
The MP3 of this should be like a Christmas gift to all of our subscribers. If they buy a year package, they can get the Patty Johnson single with it.
A digital download, if you will. All right. On that note, everybody, have a great day. Let's cash some tickets. Talk to you Wednesday.